It's Alan from Breaking and Entering, and I am thrilled to be joined today by Sebas, one half of Brown's crew, a super talented artist. How are you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Just enjoyed the holidays with the fam. Been kind of reevaluating and kind of trying to plan for 2024 and what I want that to look like. But I've been good, man. Thankfully, grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna talk about some music stuff in a minute, but before that, I want to know kind of just a little bit about your start, kind of, where you grew up, how you kind of got into music in the first place. What kind of kicked things off for you?
Yeah, man. Well, I grew up on the south side of Milwaukee, born and raised, parent to son of immigrant parents. But yeah, man, I mean, I feel like music, creativity, art, it's kind of always been in my realm, in my world, in my reality since I was a little boy. My mother has a musical background. Um, and so yeah, I think a lot of it stems from that and just hearing music in the house growing up. Started playing music, saxophone music in like grade school all the way up into my late teens. But always just been inclined towards painting, drawing, sketching, dancing, anything that had to do with expression. And in high
Mm,
school, kind of when writing actual music and lyrics started to kind of like form into that. I was already playing music, so like jazz and improv and like getting exposed to like the golden era of hip hop with Tribe and things like that. I was really influenced by that, and so just kind of started freestyling at high school parties, at the lunch table, and that kind of evolved from writing poetry as well. And
for sure.
then, yeah, and then just started writing raps and stuff, and got the opportunity to record my first song in the basement of a cell phone shop over on Mitchell Street. I think it's still there. I don't know if it's still a cell phone shop, but it was a bunch of burner phones. Um, and the guy would like, it was through a connection of my friend from high school actually knew him and was like, you should go record. And so made that happen. And it was definitely like a unique experience looking back because it was like he would tend to customers upstairs, run down and record me real quick, go back up. So to me, I was like, yo, this is the coolest shit ever. Looking back, it was like there was no post-production. It was dingy, dirty, and dusty down there. Um,
Right.
Tried to do the whole song in one take. But that helped me really. That was like my starting point of recording myself, vocally. And so that kind of again continued to just evolve into putting my music out there, meeting new people, hitting up different engineers and recording studios, and just trying to always, grow in my artistry when it came to writing music.
For sure. That first off is an amazing story. The Renaissance man, he's part engineer, part flipping burner phones. Uh, do you think that that made it, I mean, into like it's intimidating the first time you step to a microphone, I think no matter what. But did that make things like did that kind of intimidate you to be like, do I want to really go forward with music? Or were you just kind of like, oh my God, I'm in the studio? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was more excitement than intimidation. I really didn't know what to expect. And he was a much older guy. I was still like, shoot, maybe like 15, 16, and he was like already a grown adult doing his thing. And
Mm.
so a real chill dude though. And I was just more like everything was new. So I was just like my eyes were just like, yo, that's cool. Like I even remember the laptop, bro. The laptop was on a milk, it was like on those empty milk crates. It was like on top of that. Like when I say like dingy, I'm talking about like from the gutter, you know what I'm saying? So, but I was like, again, first time really being exposed to that. And so for me, it was just exciting all around. And you know, he he kind of like it's crazy because like where we are now for performing and doing all these things and all that, but um it just goes to show like how integral somebody like that or anybody that provides you with space, opportunity, time, energy, like how important and vital that is, especially for like young people in Milwaukee. Just getting a taste of it could really, create this kind of catalyst for somebody to like go after something or find their passion or whatever. So I'm super thankful. His name is Mark. I have no idea where he's at now, but I'm very grateful for that chance.
For sure. Hopefully still not flipping burner phones. But so I do want to mention though, you said you grew up, you were playing saxophone music. Yeah, we're exposed to all sorts of different types of music. Brown's Crew does something super unique in the sense that you
Mhm.
guys started off kind of more in a hip hop realm, but are able to incorporate Latin music, incorporate different sounds. What was kind of the genesis for Brown's Crew? Like, what was kind of like led you to start the crew? And when did you guys really start being like, okay, we really want to push like Latin culture, Latin music into hip hop and create our own thing?
Yeah, so I would say like the genesis of Brown's Crew was like on a my guy Chris, who makes the other half of Brown's Crew. We took a trip to Oaxaca, Mexico, and it was there where we kind of came up with the name Brown's Crew. And we're kind of like, yo, let's start like really releasing music and and whatnot. And and so that was like when it formed. In terms of when it evolved into more incorporating our culture into it. I think when we first started, we just had if you listen to any of our old songs, I don't even know if they're up anymore. I'm pretty sure I took those down, but it was just bars, 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 bars. No chorus, no pre-chorus, no intro, no interlude, no nothing. It was just kind of like mixtape beats,
Mhm.
and just spitting bars, bars, bars. And so I think at that time it was just this like these bars, these lines, these lyrics, these stories and narratives we wanted to just get out and kind of just
Right.
show what we can do, what we got. And then I think it's like anything that you do, right? When you're learning something or when you first try something, you kind of learn from the masters. You know what I'm saying? You learn and you pick up from it could be woodwork, it could be music, painting, whatever, right? And then as you begin to grow in your craft, you start to incorporate your own style, start to kind of create your own vision or your own kind of ingredients into the mix. And so I would say maybe in like 2018-ish, we kind of started like saying like we should rap in Spanish too. Like we have family that don't understand what we're saying. Um, and so again, growing up in homes that played a lot of different kinds of music, but a lot of Spanish music, right? And by Spanish, I mean like lyrically Spanish, not,
Right.
necessarily music from Spain. But we released, I think our first track in Spanish was Milaites, and it did extremely well. And
Mhm.
um, and besides the fact that it did extremely well, it was something that I feel like showed who we are, but also the joy that comes from music. Like I listen to cumbia and it brings me a lot of good feelings, a lot of joy, and I want to be able to do that with my music. And so it just seemed like a natural path to continue. And so I dropped my EP Chavo de Abajo, and there was some hints of like cumbia and some Caribbean sounds. And so I want to continue to explore that and kind of really kind of hone in on what I'm creating, because I put out music that have reggaeton vibes, that have, more classic hip hop vibes, but I really want to try to um, be more project and narrow focus in terms of like having this sound that I want to create.
For sure. That brings us to 2024, top of the new year. Things going on, you know what I mean? Everybody's planning for the next year. What does this year look like for you? Because you dropped a single back in 2023, but that was like kind of all we heard from you as just a solo single. What does 2024 hold for El Sebas?
Yeah, man. 2024, you can expect a project. I might release a couple singles from that project. But you could definitely expect I don't want to share too much, but it'll definitely be a project that is reflective of where I come from and also where I currently am, as well as my culture, as well as the sound that I want to continue to kind of develop. You can expect some merch releases, both from myself. Oh shit.
That's got to stay in. We're keeping that.
Yeah, keep it raw, keep it raw.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you could definitely expect new music from myself, project wise. New music from Brown's Crew. I know Brown's Crew had a pretty quieter year last year. But 2024, you can expect some new music and again some merch releases. And my goal, honestly, man, like there's a lot of things that I am planning. Um, but I don't want to put it out into the universe because you never know who's listening, you know what I'm saying? But I really want to have an explosion of creativity. I do a lot more than just music. And so I plan to share a lot more of that as well and hopefully get to a space where I can kind of do a better job of balancing my musical endeavors along with my other passions that revolve around other artistic kind of projects or journeys, as well as just doing stuff for my hood and for my community and thinking of like innovative ways, right? Because I don't want to replicate anything. Um, but I definitely want to try to incorporate and kind of streamline those together and put the Midwest on the map for Latin music. You know, West
Yeah,
Coast, I
absolutely.
love East Coast even. But we performed, you know, at big festivals, and people were like, "Damn, I thought y'all were from like Cali. I thought y'all were from like the West Coast." And there's a lot of us, you know, a lot of Latin artists that are not on the West Coast or Upper East Coast. And so I definitely want to try to like make some noise for the Midwest.
For sure. And I think you guys are blazing trails, but you specifically are also blazing your own trail, you know what I mean, artistically, creatively, doing so much that is different, that is uniquely you, which is really cool, and I really commend that. If people want to find you and follow you, where's the best place to go ahead and find you?
Yeah, you can find me on any streaming platform. El Sebas, Sebas. You know, Instagram, Twitter handles SE underscore BAS. Browns crew wise, you could just look up Browns BROWNS space TREW on, you know, any social media channel or streaming platform and you can find us. But yeah, just to stay tuned with any shows, music projects, things that we'll have cooking up for y'all in 2024.
There we go. And you can check out El Sebas, you can check out Brown's Crew, and tons of other music coming from Milwaukee over at Breaking and Entering at breakingandentering.net. You can find us on all of our social media as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get more of these interviews as well and check out our Patreon too. So, El Sebas, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it and looking forward to more from you in the next year.
Likewise, I appreciate you, Alan.